Hello everyone, this is Living Free. This is my first video and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Today I'm going to be showing you my small 600 watt solar system that does some pretty cool things. It is an off-grid system that runs directly into my house, and I run several things from my house off of it. My system consists of 6 monocrystalline panels, which total is 600 watts. Now I plan on doubling this system to a 1200 watt system, as well as building a whole new system off-grid, which will be much larger, at which time I will then take this system and put it on an RV trailer or whatever tickles my fancy. Now the power from these panels runs from my roof and into my detached garage. Now here you can see the line that runs between my house and my detached garage, where all my guts of the system are. You can also see the insulated posts I used, as well as the dips in the line for rainwater drip runoff. Now this was my first system, and so I decided to keep it simple and keep it as a 12 volt system. I have a 1500 watt inverter that will surge up to 3000 watts. Now this picture may seem a little overcrowded with equipment here, but it's because I have actually 2 separate systems within this 6-panel system. The one solar charger does 40 amps and the second solar charger does 20 amps. When I bump this up to 24 volts to add my other 6 panels, then there'll be 2 systems, one which has 8 panels and one that has 4 panels. I kind of got to chalk this up to a learning curve, which I'll explain more in a later video when I really break this system down. You can also see all the regulators and controls I have. There's 2 separate breaker boxes because there's 2 separate arrays up there. One's a 4-panel, one's a 2-panel. Again, I'll explain this a little bit more later. Now they all feed into the same battery bank, so these 2 systems are really just working in unison together into the battery bank, and they're hooked up that way. And of course I've got all the safety equipment, fuses, shutoffs to the battery banks, the monitorings, the kilowatt meter, and all the breakers to isolate the panels from themselves, the solar chargers from themselves, the inverter from itself, and everything. So I've made it where I can isolate any component and work on it, take it out, do whatever I need. This picture is a little further out where you can actually see the battery bank. I have 6 deep cycle batteries all hooked in series. My bigger system I'm making later is definitely going to have lithium batteries. They're a far better battery, but I'm trying to keep the costs down for this system, so I stuck with deep cycle lead acid batteries. I made a lid on the top of the battery so I could lift it up and access these batteries a little bit more for maintenance, checking the waters and all. The inverter is actually screwed into the lid and has a hook so I can lift it up, hook it in this position, and work on the batteries without ever having to really disconnect or move anything. Now, what makes my system different is how I'm using my power. My home is a typical grid-tied electric home, but what I've done with this system is run a completely separate electrical wire system throughout my home with receptacles that tie directly into this solar array. Instead of having to run extension cords out your house or whatever, I just made these receptacles very easy access throughout the house. That being said, this is not a simple 600 watt system, plug in and play kind of type thing. You're going to need to know electrical codes, how to wire in receptacles, breaker boxes, etc. Basically, you're going to have to be an electrician to understand how to make this circuit work with the solar system in your house, converting it from 12 volts to 120 volts to a system with GFIs and everything to make sure it's a safe system. Don't worry, for those who are interested in this, I'll have later videos which will break all this down into a lot better, more understandable how I did this. And of course, you can use this technique for any size system, larger, smaller, for whatever you need. In my case, yes, don't laugh, I wear a CPAP at night. And of course, all the dorks in the movies are the CPAP guys. But the truth of the matter is, when the power goes out, my CPAP goes out, and I cannot breathe, I cannot sleep. So this system runs 24/7 and supplies me with my ability to breathe for my sleep apnea. And stop laughing. I hear you all laughing. Okay, now that you got a good laugh at me, we can move on. As you can see, I've put these receptacles throughout the house. Some of these receptacles have USB chargers on them. I've also have my lights set up so that all of the lights throughout the house are on the solar array, along with LED light bulbs. And it's pretty cool because if the power ever goes out, I never noticed because most of my lights are running off this solar array. It's really all about understanding your energy consumption and what you can produce and managing it properly. In my case, my system will produce 2,400 watts, which is 200 watts continuous for 24 hours a day with the battery bank. That allows me to run my entire computer system, monitor, printers, or I could run a refrigerator off of that. You can cycle those in and out. Light bulbs, LEDs, are only about 9 to 12 watts a piece. You can run quite a bit of stuff on this. And when I double this system, now I'm going to have 400 continuous watts that I can use. That makes for a very nifty little system, which is very convenient to use. I've had this system for about 3 years, and I've been really happy with it. It is only shut down twice, both times in the winter, and we'll discuss that a little bit more later, how temperature affects it and the fact that winter you just don't get as much power. And of course, I over pushed it a little bit. That's a short description about my system. To give you a short description about myself, I've worked for Solar City for many years. That's where I get my knowledge about solar arrays. I've also been in the construction industry for over 25 years, as well as the environmental industry for 25 years, hazmat, all kinds of different things, and a volunteer firefighter for more than a decade. My goal with this channel and what I'm trying to do here is to help people find a way of paying off their mortgage, either by building a tiny house, going off-grid, basically taking charge of your life instead of working your whole life to pay someone else off. I think this really applies to the new generation, such as my kids. I plan on building them a tiny home or house in order to keep them off a mortgage, give them the ability to start saving up their money, living the life that they want to live, instead of spending your whole life working and no money to enjoy life. It's just ridiculous today how materialistic everything is, and I just don't believe in that. That's not how you're going to find happiness or spiritual freedom. So that's what I'm here to try to achieve. Hopefully we can do it together. I love y'all. Anyone's opinion, let me know what you think. If you like my video, please like it. If you want to subscribe to see my later videos, please do. Tell your friends about it. Like I said, this is my first video, so I'm just kind of starting up here. Thanks for watching my video. See ya.